Hi everyone and welcome to Sprinkle with Paper's CRAFTMAS Day 1. Today I'm going to be showing you step by step on how to make this adorable holly topper. This would be perfect for a cake topper, a centerpiece, or you could even use it to decorate a package. So to get started, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to head on over to Cricut Design Space. And from here over on the left hand side, we're just going to click on Images. And then we're going to go down to the bottom where it says Advanced Search. And that's where we're going to type in holly. We're going to be making this topper in two different parts. So first we're going to make the holly leaves and then we're going to make the bow. So once we select our holly leaf, I'm going to be picking this one right here. We're just going to add it to our project. And then just select View, and now we'll be back on our project page. So from here, I'm just going to make the holly leaf quite a bit smaller. I'm not going to worry about the exact sizing. I'm just making it smaller so it's a little bit easier to work with. And then I'm just going to adjust the leaf until I like the placement. And then I'm going to duplicate 2 more times so I can make the base here on the left-hand side. So once I'm happy with the left side, I'm just going to duplicate one of these leaves one more time and just move it over to the side and just save that for later. And then I'm going to highlight these 3 holly leaves and I'm going to click Weld. As you can see, there's a little spot here that's going to be cut out. The leaves weren't overlapping quite as much as I thought they were. So to fix that, I'm just going to go over to Shapes and I'm going to select the circle. And then I'm just going to place it over the spot I want to fill in. And then I will highlight both the circle and the base of the holly leaves and click Weld. From here, I'm just going to now duplicate the base of the left side. And then I'm going to go up to Arrange and I'm going to flip this so we can make the right side of our holly leaves. And then I'm just going to make them so they're connecting. So I'm just going to make them where they're touching and just slightly overlapping. And then I'm going to highlight both pieces and click Weld. So now we're going to use this leaf that we had just placed to the side. So I'm going to change the color to a lighter green. And then I'm going to go to positioning and I'm going to move it to the front. Because what we're going to do is we're going to use these individual holly leaves and we're going to place them, we're going to overlap them and place them on top of the base. So I'm just going to make this one a little bit smaller because I don't want it to completely cover the base. My vision is to have 2 different color leaves to kind of give it some type of dimension. So I'm not going to completely overlap it. I'm going to kind of space them out a little bit. Once we start doing it, it will make more sense. But basically, I'm just going to place it on the base and then I'm just going to duplicate several more leaves until the full thing is covered and I'm happy with the look. Now that we have our holly leaves all positioned, I'm just going to now adjust the size. So I'm going to be using this probably on about an 8-inch round cake. So I'm going to make this 8 inches wide. So I'm just going to highlight everything and then I'm going to adjust the width to 8 inches. And I'm not going to worry about the height. I'm just worrying about the width. Here you can see that we have all of our light green holly leaves and we also have our darker base. So now I'm going to show you how we're going to make the bow. So this bow design is something that I actually made up years ago and then I just uploaded the file into Cricut Design Space, and then I've made it into just a free file that anybody can use. So down in the description, I will have the links. So once you find the project, you're going to want to edit it. I have several different bow sizes in here. So this yellow one, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe this one is the 6-inch or 6.5-inch bow, but today we're going to be using the 3.5-inch bow for this topper. So I'm just going to hide this yellow one, and then I'm going to be looking for, I know that it's a gray bow, and then also the width of it is going to be 10.5 inches for the width. So once we have that, I'm then just going to unhide the middle of the bow, which is the rectangle, and then the 2 tails, and then click Make It. So the paper I'll be using today to create the bow is this Recollections brand from Michaels. So the most important thing is to make sure that it's 65 pounds. Anything thicker is going to crease when you go to roll in those bows, and then anything thinner is going to wrinkle and it's just not going to look nice. So make sure you get that 65-pound paper. And then for the holly, I'm going to use 2 different color greens of this glitter cardstock. And this is the Recollections brand. I love it because it doesn't shed, so you're not going to get glitter on your cake. And then this lighter green one, for whatever reason, I notice it's a little bit flimsier than the dark green, but that's okay because we're just using it for layering today. So now we're just going to cut out all of our pieces using our Cricut machine, and then we will come back and we will start assembling our cake topper. So now that we have all of our pieces cut, we're just going to start assembling. So I'm just going to use my hot glue gun, and my 2 side pieces of my holly, the base, the right and the left, they did separate a little bit. Well, they did separate all the way, actually. So I'm just going to use my hot glue gun to reattach these. And then while that's drying, I'm going to make my bow. So to create the bow, we're just going to put a dab of hot glue in the middle. And then we're going to very carefully roll the sides, the ends, into the middle. And we're going to secure it with the hot glue. Once the loops of the bow are created, then we're just going to use another dab of hot glue in the center of the bow to secure the middle piece. So that's the rectangle piece. And then we're just going to bend the ends around to the back and secure it there as well. Then to secure the tails, we're just going to use 2 small dabs of glue on the back of the bow. And then we're going to secure those pieces so they're kind of fanning out to the sides. So then you could just kind of turn your bow around and position the tails exactly how you'd like them. I like mine to kind of fan out a little bit. So now let's just move on to our holly leaves. So we have this base, and we're just going to now start gluing all the individual holly leaves on top of it. So there's no perfect way of doing this. I'm just kind of positioning it where you can see a little bit of the base kind of peeking out. Now we'll just secure our bow to the center of the holly leaves just with some more hot glue. And once that's dry, we're going to then just use one of these lollipop sticks for our cake topper stick. So typically I would use a wooden skewer, but because this is kind of a thicker cake topper, it's a little bit heavier, I'm going to use a lollipop stick just to make sure it's nice and secure. And there you have this adorable holly topper that could be used as a cake topper, a centerpiece, or leave off the stick and use it to decorate your packages. I want to thank you guys all so much for sticking around. Be sure to check back for CRAFTMAS. I'm going to be posting a video every day until Christmas. So make sure you don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. Thanks again for watching, and happy crafting.